Here we are, going on with the second movie review on this channel. I think it's the second. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the only movie I've reviewed besides this is yeah, no, because I have Joker planned, but that's for another time. We're not talking about DC stuff while we're doing a Marvel review. That would be like a Marvel sin. I went on a nice date with my girlfriend Panic yesterday to a we were supposed to go see two movies. I wanted to be able to do a review for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well, especially since I'm so far behind on the movie anyways, that I've been having to dodge spoilers left and right, unlike Spider-Verse, which I was able to see just a few days late, as not a month late. But I took Panic to go and see it. We had to flip a coin on whether or not to see Guardians or excuse me. Pardon. We had to flip a coin on it because we decided not to go and see two movies all in one day, especially considering that not only was Marvel's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a 2-hour and 40-minute movie, I do believe Guardians was also 2 hours long, if not longer. Let me just look that up real quick. How long? Oh, how long will the smoke last? I don't want to know about that. How long was Guardians? Yeah, living in Massachusetts, we've been getting a little bit taste of the smoke too. I actually had a good joke making fun of my friend. 2 hours and 29 minutes. So also a massively long movie, by the way, getting back to the point. Guardians of the Galaxy was super long, so we had to flip a coin on what to see, even though it would have been really nice to do a double date and just see two movies in one day. We wound up settling on Spider-Man, which I'm glad for because I'm a big Spider-Man fan anyways, and I really wanted to see what happened to Miles next. And to get started, they actually, I think this would be fair because I'm trying to stay away from spoilers for this, but they started with some Gwen lore, and the last thing I expected was Gwen lore. Like, for them to go into her story first in the middle of, I mean, in the beginning of a Miles Morales, well, what seemed like the Miles Morales movie, but then you gotta remember it's Spider-Verse, so it's not Miles' movie, it's the Spider-Verse movie, so it's fair that they would have her in as well. For lore at least. I mean, it was nice. I can't go and say anything about it because it would be spoilers, but the story they told was pretty interesting and a little shocking at the same time. Like, they had a lot of interesting twists throughout the movie, starting right from start to finish. And I've given myself a whole 24 minutes to sit down and talk about it. But I think there'll be a perfect amount of time for me to sit here and rant at you guys about it. To try and do this all in one take, especially. Just like I did with this match, actually. This match had me with my heart pounding after I won it, because if you stick around, you'll get to see how I won it. If you'd rather watch that than listen to me rant, you can go ahead and just turn the volume down or whatever. But going back, Spider-Verse starts with Gwen. We got that out of the way. Then we see, let's see, let me just pull up a trailer real quick and make sure I don't say anything that's, because I meant to do that before I started the recording, so that way I could go ahead and make sure not to spoil anything at all. There we go. Okay, so I get to talk about, I get to go ahead and talk about characters like the Indian Spider-Man, whose name I currently can't remember off the top of my head, but I thought he was hilarious. Anybody who goes to see the movie is gonna really enjoy him. I just, not only just because of his accent, but his goofs were like special. Um, the entire movie was full of laughs. Like even like the trailer shows, trailer number 2 that Sony released, um, it just goes right into the like depth of Spot pretty much, so that I don't have to worry about giving too much away. His whole scene with trying to rob the ATM was absolutely priceless. He shows off as a goofy villain, and by the end, I personally thought he was gonna rewrite history or something. But if you're gonna ask why, I'm not gonna say because that would be spoilers. I love the scene that I'm glad that they showed the inside of the spider like collective or whatever they're called. I look at that and I just see nothing but the like to me it's like the Counselor Ricks but with all Spider-Man and women. Um and I think it was awesome to just seeing all of them. I spent the majority of the movie, every time there was multiple Spider-Man in the movie, I would just sit there looking for symbiote Spider-Man because they're my favorite, of course. There's a few cameos that'll pop up inside the area, the collective or whatever that I can't talk about, unfortunately, because I don't want to give, like, there are so many things in that movie that I just want to talk about so bad, but I can't afford to because I don't want people to get mad at me who haven't gone to see it yet, because I understand, like, again, going back to the Guardians thing, I haven't seen that yet, and I've had people try to spoil that for me, and then be like, it's been a month, it's your own fault. That's not fair. That Oh yeah, I forgot they showed the so if you watch the trailers, you've seen that they did actually show the point meme. They did the point meme again, and I love that Sony made sure to do it twice. I oh, Spider Society, that's what they're called. Yeah, the Spider Society is still just a Council of Ricks, except without a council, because Spider-Man 2099 just totally runs that shit. And it's funny because I love the way that they introduce him, and then I do believe the first trailer um shows, let me make sure before I go and say anything.
I know this one is gonna make you want to put your hands in the air.
Trailer 1, look at me watching him backwards like a goofball. Oh man, Across the Spider-Verse, dude. Let me take a minute while this winds up to talk about the colors and things that they used in the movie to really just represent emotions and a few things like that. I want to try not to repeat things that I heard in other reviews, because even though I just watched the movie yesterday, I still feel like there was so much within those 2 hours and 40 minutes that even though I was staring at the screen the whole time, I just feel like some of it I missed, and I mean I have to collect all my thoughts on it still, but I just like needed to do it while it was fresh in my mind, and unfortunately I couldn't do it last night, so now I have to do it now while I'm missing half my thoughts on it. Oh, um, oh wait a minute, never mind. I have the correct trailer. I almost thought I had the wrong trailer. It's just showing scenes from the first movie. Oh. With mentioning the colors aside, and how artistic the movie, like, it was visually appealing, just like the first one. All the flashy colors and whatever, like, I was there completely sober because I had to drive, but, like, I wish I could have been there completely baked because I would have loved to just let myself go staring at those colors. It was insane. Like, just watching the portals and everything else, it's just so cool. I'm, uh, I'm trying to follow my formula that I had with the Thor review, but I feel like I'm bouncing around a lot in comparison. I watched my own review even just to make sure, but let me continue going on this because I'm gonna wind up wrapping up this match soon, and then I'm not gonna have anything else to record over unless I want to have to stop and record another match and then have to have K2 patch it together, and then I'm gonna have to record more audio. Because I am putting this audio in over the match. Because I don't know, I just didn't want to be yelling the whole time in the background over myself. Because I knew I wouldn't be able to focus on the review if I was focusing on winning this match. Oh no. From Comic Story, and no. Across the Spider-Verse. Done a year ago. Good for him. Sony went crazy with including characters like if you would want to call them self-inserts for just jokes, you could definitely call them that. For example, this might be spoiler, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So if you don't want spoilers, click off now. But Insomniac Spider-Man from PS4 makes quite a few appearances. One which I didn't expect him to actually make a physical appearance, but if you watch Genji while early on in the movie he's hanging out with Miles coming into the room, you see him playing PS4 Spider-Man. And that was great. And then you get to see Insomniac Spider-Man physically, like they're making jokes about video game Spider-Man and video game villains, and he makes a pop-up right between a couple of video game villains. It was great. Because I really do love that game, and that's actually another part of the reason why I'm doing this review, is to get everybody excited for when I get the new Spider-Man game. And for the review, for the playthroughs I'm going to be doing live on stream, for the Spider-Man games before the new one comes out. No. I want to talk about Miles' mother for a second, because Miles' mother, dude, she's not toxic per se. Panic was funny about it. She kept joking that she was like not toxic, but like a little crazy in a way that was almost borderline toxic. And I agree with it in the fact where she like totally storms every moment she can. And I'm gonna avoid going into detail about where and when and all that, but she's just major cock block. I mean, kid's 15, he doesn't need to be getting laid, I suppose, but still major cock block vibes the entire time. Even though he has a past relationship with her anyways that he shouldn't have to worry about, but you'll find out why he has a reason to worry. They make jokes about it the whole time. It was hilarious. Spider-Punk is a menace, we'll say. Spider-Punk's a menace. To not to society per se. Well, he's totally a menace to his society, but he's a menace to Miles's insecurities. That's for sure. He was a cool character to get to see. Especially with the way they animate him, which when you get to go to see the movie, you'll get to find out. I don't get the freedom of being able to patch any clips from the movie in over it or anything over this gameplay or anything. That would be beyond my ability, and I don't know if we would get in trouble for using that stuff anyways. I don't want to get copywritten for that. I'm probably gonna get copywritten for some of the music that might pop up in the background actually, so I might have to have K2 fix that or just worry about it myself. I don't know. But we'll see when we get there, when we post the video. With about 10 minutes left, let's talk about, let's see. I think it's awesome that they went out of their way to show all these different crazy kinds of Spider-Man. Like, they even went as diverse as to have a handicapped Spider-Man. I don't know what to call it. They literally was in a wheelchair, or I forget if it was a him or a her. It doesn't matter. But I forget if the character was in. It was like a wheelchair at first, and then he or she whipped out crutches. I totally forget. There was just so much to absorb all at once in some of the scenes when when they were showing off the characters, because that's actually something I have to complain about, is how quick some of the scenes went, but I'll get into detail after that. We'll talk about more about the Spider-Man first. Um, I mean, Spider-Woman being pregnant, for example, this is gonna be a pretty adult joke, so YouTube's, I'm saying it now, this is an adult joke, not for children. I'm gonna even mark this as not for children when I post it. But let's be real, one accident, like one super punch to her gut, and that baby's getting fetus deleted. Like, the superpowers involved, like, I think it's nice that they were trying to show the power of woman, I guess. I don't know why through a pregnant woman. It just seems, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it because I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble now, but with the fetus deleted joke made, it's out there. I said it. YouTube, be mad if you want. Fetus deleted. I'm gonna say it again. Nah, I'm done. I've said it 3 times. Um, Great character though. I thought it was interesting the way she was kind of like she I, she was really mean to Gwen sometimes. Like, and not even in the like way where she would ever swear at her or nothing, but she would just like tell her to shut up for no reason. Got real rude with her when Gwen was just trying to explain herself. Like, kids, they're kids. Like Gwen and Miles are like 15 is 16 and 17 or something years old, and you got a grown woman telling kids to shut up as they're trying to explain themselves, even though they're in deep shit. I can't say what for, but I don't know. I don't think that's appropriate adult behavior, but that's on her. Blame it on her pregnancy, she probably would, but I don't know, man. Miguel, Spider-Man 2099, he was awesome. It was great to see him. I wish they would have gone more into explaining the whole, vampirism thing. I know they kept calling him a vampire over and over again. I don't think he's part vampire. I think if anything, those fangs are actually spider fangs. If I know my 2099 lore, I'll double check it. But I feel like if I do, it's gonna wind up giving me information on the Spider-Verse movie version of him and not the one that I want to know about. So let's open the tab real quick. Spider-Man. Abilities. Via fangs, that's right, I knew it. Those fangs are like spider fangs, I knew it. They're not vampire fangs, he's not a fucking vampire, but they kept joking on him for that, and I feel like that's confusing to people who don't know the 2099 character well enough. Like, I even had to double check my facts before I could share them to you guys. And they showed it in a way where it even made him look like a vampire, if you ask me, when he went and, well, I can't say, because I think it's spoilers, but he went to do some stuff he probably shouldn't have, and then, Pete shows up. We'll just say that. Leave it at that. Pete and Mayday. Anybody who's seen the second trailer and seen that he's got a, like, baby carrying chest mount thing on already knows that he's got Mayday Parker with him. Peter and Mayday Parker were so much fun. Oh my god. Probably one of the best comic relief parts in the entire movie. It was it was just actually so much fun getting to see a baby spider person. Absolutely adorable how they utilized the characters. I think it was kind of interesting that they, I feel like they almost degraded their original Spider character away by just like they're like just dropping him all the way down to being just a dad making dad jokes and carrying his baby around where he shouldn't. But we did get to see some characters like, well, that I can't say, But there are some characters from the, we'll say from the past, that we get to find again, and it's nice to see him. Can't say from when in the past, but I think it's up to you guys to figure that out. It was just such a fantastic experience getting to watch that movie. And I'm so glad that I saw that and not Guardians, because then I would have had to sit there and comfort my girl, because I've heard that somebody dies in Guardians 3, and I didn't want to have to hug my crying girlfriend through a movie while I also hold back tears, probably depending on who dies. Definitely did not need that. I would rather watch a very colorful, fun experience where actually surprisingly nobody died. I don't think. No, not a single character died. There were characters who were sent back to places they belonged, but nobody actually died. And well, maybe it's because it's not a Disney movie, because we all know that Disney loves to kill at least one villain per movie, pretty much. With about 3 minutes left, I need to wrap up my opinions here. I feel like I've bounced around so much in these 20 minutes. I feel like I just hope that I've made some valid points that are worth listening to, and that you guys enjoyed hearing my opinion on the movie. Which, like again, I have to stress that I have to be careful not to repeat things that were just said by the people who I got the reviews from, that I needed to refresh my memory. I have to say, anybody that likes Lego stop motion is gonna like one of the scenes in the movie, that's for sure. If you've made it this far, and that's a spoiler to you, that's fine, because the video is almost over. Mwahaha! I got you, evil. Evil plans. Get you out of here right before the video comes to a close and I catch a dub. That would actually be really unfortunate. But you know what? I'll probably just be watching this myself, because this was such a satisfying win. My hands were shaking in the end almost, and I was like, I can't stress enough how much my heart was pounding. I expected to get attacked here right at this moment, and the opponent who swung over the ledges away from me with the ODM gear just never came for me, so I had all the time in the world to max up. And then I didn't even wind up needing the gear. I go in for the kill. And I know I bushwhacked right here, but I go in for the kill.